Okay, so my camera cut off at the very end of the tutorial and it did not show me matting in the final version. So I'm going to show you the walkthrough now and then the tutorial after. So this is what we're making today. Super fun notebook holder. And you're going to make your own notebook. So in the video, I used my scrap paper to make the notebook. And I didn't really care about the top because it's my scrap paper, but this one I'm giving away. So I took my time and made the edge super clean and gorgeous. And this is what we're making. So here's the walkthrough. Our DIY notebook, which I do show you how to make your own little notebook using copier paper, whatever paper you want. I did add a full sheet of cardstock to the back of this one. And you have two pockets. This one is really just for your paper pad. That's why it's not decorated, because your paper is going to cover it anyway. And then you have a pocket here for cut aparts, extra notes, pictures, photos, receipts, whatever you want. You have some magnets. And there we are. This is what we're making. Here's the tutorial. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here today to show you how to make your own tear off paper notebooks. Now I know what is it? We Are Memory Keepers. Is it We Are Memory Keepers? It's the cinch, whatever, whoever does the cinch. They came out with the thermal cinch to make these notebooks. Yes, I bought it. No, I haven't used it. Yes, it's still in the box. But I wanted to show you how to make these little notebooks by yourself without any special machine. But safety first. We're going to be messing with hot glue. Hot glue is obviously hot. You can lose your fingerprints from hot glue incidents. See that there? See how messed up my finger is? That was a hot glue incident. Okay? Safety first. Silicone mat. You can get them at Dollar Tree. This silicone, it's a makeup brush, I think it is. I got it at Dollar Tree, but it works great for hot glue, regular glue, because I don't like to get my hands messy. So I use this for Mod Podge. That's Mod Podge Extreme Glitter that you see on there, all that stuff. You can use these finger things. I did not get these ones from Dollar Tree. I got them from, I think, Tall Mouse, and my fingers just don't fit in there. It's too tight, and I'm scared to cut my circulation off. But, if you have the finger protectors, whatever you have, please be safe. Use your safety tools. $1.25, $1.25. Your safety is worth, less than $3, okay? Just let that sink in. Be safe. Don't be reckless with your hot glue. Don't come for me and say, I done burnt my hand off because I was trying to do your tutorial. That's on you. Not me, because I'm telling you to be safe. I'm showing you safety measures, okay? Anyway, let's keep it moving. So what you want to do is get a stack of paper. This, for me, is scratch paper. These were the templates for my book before I made my book. So now I just use them as scratch paper. I don't know what this was. Just something that I printed off and didn't need. So I cut it into quarters. This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Well, most of them are. So what you want to do is get your stack of paper, however much you want, and make sure you tip it down so all of your edges are the same on the top of your pad, okay? It may take you a second depending on how you cut. Some of these were hand cut by scissors. Some were done by my paper trimmer. But you're going to cut yours out nicely. You're going to use your paper trimmer and you're going to cut yours nicely. Okay. I like to use a clip. When you cut yours nicely, you won't have to go through all the drama I just did. I like to use a clip to keep them together where I know I'm going to work. Okay, so what you're going to do is start from one edge and you're just going to put a generous amount of hot glue. Okay. And then you're going to use whatever safety tool you have, not your fingers, unless you got one of these little pink things on your finger, and you're just going to wipe that hot glue off. Okay? You're just smearing it on. Okay? Now that it's semi-cool, I can move that piece. Okay? And because this is silicone, it just comes right off. Okay? Now you're going to move on to your next section. And again, you're just going to hold it kind of, not tight, but just hold it. And add your hot glue and just wipe it. Just so you have a thin layer of hot glue. Okay? And the good thing about hot glue is if you get bulky parts, just reheat it. Okay? Just gonna peel that off. I'm still holding this because I did not get all of my pages in that last swipe. So see how I got all this extra edge? You can just reheat it and it will, you can just wipe it off. All right, so I'm going to add more glue just to kind of make sure I got all of the pages. Again, being very careful not to get my fingers. Swipe it away from your fingers. Take off that extra side. Pull your strings. Okay. There you go. Yes, mine is cool. Because we wiped the majority of it off, it doesn't take that long to cool. So this right here, I don't mind that because I'm just going to put mine, under my desk. Or if you are going to make it into your own little notebook, you may just want to clean that up a little bit. And all you have to do is take the side of your hot glue gun and just reheat, pull that excess off. I'm not squeezing any hot glue, I'm just using the thing just to kind of reheat it. Okay. So once you get your desired look, you're done. So that one had an extra bump in it, so I'm just kind of smoothing it out using the side of the hot glue. Again, my fingers are nowhere near this, okay? We're not burning ourselves today. Is that more for me than you? Probably. And just wipe it off your silicone mat. Okay. You can add a decorative top if you would like, or make this the back. Or just patiently keep heating and swiping. I just want to show you all this. Got to have a little bit of patience. If you do the other part super slow, then you don't have to worry about this part. But obviously I did it fast because I wanted you to see this. Here you go. Okay, so I just kind of made sure my whole top was smooth. All of my pages have glue on them. My corners did not get very well. So I'm just going to add more glue. Wipe it off away from my finger. There we go. That corner is really good. Pull off any of the cooled hot glue. And that is it. That's how you do it. I usually just take this first page because I don't like that. And I'm just going to lightly tear it off. That's it. So now you can just, write your notes and gently tear it off. Write your notes, tear it off. Why did I tear those ones? Because they were too short and I didn't like it. And I wanted to show you how it's easy to tear it off. If you decide, you know what, see how these ones were too short on this side, they didn't catch, either tear those pages off or come back in with your hot glue and just add them to the stack. Okay, that simple. There's no right or wrong reason, and it looks like, you know, if you take the time to smooth all of that out, then it will just look like a store-bought notebook. But again, gently just tear it off. That's it. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our hot glue away because we're all done with that part. And we're going to make a little notebook holder for our brand new notebook pad. Now, I could have added chipboard to the back of this or cardstock to kind of make it a little sturdier. Yeah, I mean, it's really up to you. I'll probably do it in future videos because we're going to make these every Friday of this month. Okay, so for our little holder, this is what we're going to need. We know we're going to need a left side, a spine, a right side, a spine, and a closure, right? It kind of looks like my full flat box template, don't it? We just don't need the extra. Okay, so the notebook size is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, right? So I want to add about a 1/4 inch border to that. So that's going to be 4 1/2 by 5 3/4 in length. Okay, so my left to right is going to be 4 1/2, 4 1/2, and my up and down is going to be 5 3/4. Okay, so now we need to measure how thick our notebook is. This one is just slightly over 1/8 of an inch. So I could probably get away with a 1/4 inch spine, but I don't like to work in 1/4 inches. It's just too small for me. So I'm going to do a half. Okay, so I'm going to put mine as a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to need a 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to need whatever I have left over to do a closure. Okay. I'll figure that in a second. Now, to kind of give you a example, there's 75 pages in my full flat box template, and that spine is 1/2 inch, or excuse me, 1/4 of an inch. So you can, you know, bulk these up as much as you want or as less as you want. So I'm still going to do a 1/2 inch on mine, just because I'm going to add pockets, I think. And, you know, sometimes a pocket can get a little bulky, so we're just going to do 1/2 inch. Now, 4, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what do we have left here. So I need to math this out, and it's going to be 4, 8, 9, 10, and I can do 2 inches here, and that's going to be 12 by 5 3/4. So that's perfect for my 12 by 12 paper users, okay? So if you are a 12 by 12 paper user, you're going to cut your paper at 12 by 5 3/4. You're going to score it on the long side at 4 1/2, 5, 9 1/2, and 10, right? 4 1/2, 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. Yeah. Okay. So that's my 12 by 12 paper users. Okay. Now, obviously, my 8 1/2 by 11 paper, we only have 11 inches instead of 12. So my 8 1/2 by 11 paper, we are going to do let me think, 8, 9. Okay, we're going to cut our paper 9.5 by 5 3/4. On the long side, we're going to score it at 4.5 and 5. Okay. And then we're going to take a second sheet of cardstock. So this is one. And you only need one of these. You're going to do it at, we're going to save paper. We're going to do it at 3 by 5 3/4. And we're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 1 on the short side. Okay. So we're just basically making this closure, but we're going to add a 1/2 inch right here that we can glue to that page. If you want to, you can add this whole entire 4.5 plus, let me see, that would be 4, 5, 6. You could do it 7 inches by 5 3/4 if you really want to make this sturdy, but I'm saving paper, and so I'm just going to do this little tiny extra 1/2 inch. Okay, I'm going to show you that because I know that was probably confusing. Okay, 12 by 12 paper users. Grab my paper. See if you can find some scraps. Dang, it was too short. So I need 12 by 5 3/4. So here we go. It's already at 12, so we just need to cut it at 5 3/4. Okay, and we are going to score it at 4.5. 5, 9.5, and 10. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and varnish all of my score lines, making sure that they line up properly. Okay. There we go. So this is how I have mine. So it has a little closure. This little closure piece, you can decide if you want it to be a magnet, Velcro, if you want a ribbon closure, whatever you want. So that's how it's going to look on your 12 by 12. If you're making a bunch of these for a craft fair or whatever, I would suggest to go and get your 12 by 12 paper because it's going to be quicker and easier. Okay. 8.5 by 11 users. Let's see. I have some scrap paper and a full sheet, and we need 9.5 by 5 3/4. Okay, I can use my little scrap paper here. So let's cut this down. 9.5 by 5 3/4. Okay, and so this one we need to score at 4.5 and 5. So 4.5 and 5. Okay, so we're gonna move that to the side. Now we need to cut a piece that is 3 by 5 3/4. Okay, I should have another scrap. I don't want to waste paper. Okay, so 5 3/4. Great way to use up your scraps for my 8.5 by 11 people. by 3. So 3 by 5 3/4. And we're going to score at 1/2 inch and 1. Okay, so you have 2 pieces that look like you have these 2 pieces. You can see the score lines. We're going to go ahead and varnish those score lines. Making sure everything matches. Sometimes when you score, you might be a little bit off, so you just kind of make sure your paper's lined up. And then these 2 score lines, like so. Okay. So you have a little funky thing like this, and then you have your main folder. Now, what I'm going to do is open this up and just glue or tape onto that first 1/2 inch. If you're doing a bunch of these, tape may be quicker. Well, my glue is plugged anyway, so we're going to use tape. Just tape it. Oh my gosh, where's my little... That did not want to tear. Okay. Make sure there's no overhang, and you're just going to glue that right on in there. Tape it in there. Up to the score line, but not going over it, not going on it. And now you have the same closure, the samesies. Okay. Exactly the same. Except, well, I guess not exactly the same, because now you have this on the back, which is fine. Just cover it with paper. I mean, you could probably put it on the inside too, but there you go. So now what we need to do is finish our little folder here. You don't want to put anything on this side because it is your closure piece. If you want to put a magnet there, go ahead and put your magnet. I like to write that on there so I remember to put my magnets. And then I just, obviously it may not be in that exact spot, but that'll just remind me when I'm trying to mat, like, hey, wait, put your magnet there. Okay. On this side, I want a pocket. So I know that the pocket, should be 4.5. Okay, oops. So pocket is going to measure 5 3/8. That's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So that way your pocket fits perfectly on your page and you don't have to worry about, you know, it hitting your score line. Some people like to do exact, but I do it slightly smaller. So 5 3/8 by, how deep do we want this pocket? By 3. Okay. And then we need to score it at 1/2 inch, twice on the long side and once on the short. 1/2 inch, 3 sides. Okay. So let's find the paper. So 5 3/8 by 3. That was a scrap, so it was not cut nicely. Alright, so 5 3/8, 1, 3. That is the 1/8 of an inch before the 1/2 inch by 3. I'm gonna score it at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So that was once on the short, once on the long, and twice on the long. So here's your standard pocket. I'm going to go ahead and actually make the pocket. I like to use tape for pockets. It's just easier. You don't have to wait for anything to dry. So tape the long side, then the short sides. Okay. Okay. Actually, I should have did it in black because I'm keeping the black one. That's okay. Now we're just going to go ahead and miter our corners, which you're just cutting through where that X meets on both sides. I do have pocket tutorials that are slower. Let's make sure our lines are nice and crisp. And here we go. And you can have your closure on either side if you don't use directional paper. Some people like to open it to the right. Some people like their opening to the left. It doesn't matter unless your paper's directional. And then whatever side your direction is, that's what side you're going to open it. Because you can use the thicker 12 by 12 paper like a Cardstock or Echo Park. Or even if you wanted to use something thin like Stampin' Up, I will laminate it. I might just do that actually. Okay, so my pocket goes right here. I'm a border girl, so I have a little bit of a border on all three sides. And there's my little pocket. Okay, so now you have room for tags, for whatever you want, okay? But we still haven't got our notebook in, have we? So, some people like to do belly bands, some people like to do pockets, some people like to do a belly band with a stopper. That's normally what I do, but we're going to go ahead and do just like a little shallow pocket, I think. Maybe more than shallow. Let's do... Let's go ahead and do a long pocket so we can just stick it in there. Let me see something here. Actually, let's just do the same size. So we need 2 pockets, 2 pieces of the same measurement, because then we can just stick our paper in there and call it done. Why complicate this? Okay, so second pocket. Okay, forgot what we was doing. All right, I don't have any more scrap. So this one is going to be the same thing as, oh wait, let me save this piece of scrap. Nope. Okay, so 5 3/8 by 3. And you know, feel free to do your pockets a different color. Have fun with this. And we're going to score on 3 sides at 1/2 inch. Okay. We're going to tape, and then we'll miter, and then we'll attach it. Okay. All right, so we're all taped up. Where's my bone folder? Let's burnish, and varnish, and varnish, and then let's miter, and let's miter. And we're making sure when we close our pocket, nothing is touching, which this one I knew was going to. So I'm just going to put a little extra off. Nothing's touching. I'm just cutting this little tiny bit off. Okay. And then, okay. So then we're going to have a little pocket here. And I did not do a very good job laying that down, but that's okay because this is just the prototype. And then we're going to take our notebook. Here's our notebook. Remember our top. And we're gonna just take a couple pages, or you could, like I said, you could even glue a piece of the cardstock on the back, or chipboard, or whatever you want. And you're just going to stick that in the pocket. It should fit a little snug. I just had to open my pocket a little bit. My paper got stuck on the bottom score mark. Okay, so get that in there nicely. Alright, we're probably going to have to do the chipboard on this one because it's getting stuck on that stupid lip. I'm just going to quickly glue this scrap piece of cardstock on the back. This is not the full size, obviously, but we're just using this for a little bit of strength. That's all we're using it for. So you can do a full piece of cardstock or a little half a piece like I just did. And there we go. See how much easier that was? Obviously glue it on the right side. I did mine on the back. The wrong side. And then it's done. If you don't like your edge, you can always add, you know, a piece of paper. This is my front actually. You can always